Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mahmoud Akbar Afridi, and today in this video I would be telling you about the history of Shah Waliullah Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi and Haji Shariatullah. Okay, so first of all, these are included in the course of O levels history for the subject of Pakistan studies, and these three are included in the very first chapter, and they are the very first topics, and the questions which comes from this usually is in question 1, and which is the compulsory part, and in question 2, which is non-compulsory, but usually students attempt this question because because they have studied Shah Waliullah, Haji Shariatullah and Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi many times. Okay, so first of all, I would tell you about Shah Waliullah. Shah Waliullah real name was Kutubuddin, but he was known as Shah Waliullah because of his service to the Islams. Okay, now first of all, Shah Waliullah was a man who was a very scholarly man. He had studied in his father's madrasa, and the name of that madrasa was Madrasa Rahimia. And he was very young when he went to Saudi Arabia, for to perform Hajj. But over there, he studied under many scholars who, and sorry, not many, under one scholar, but he was very famous for his knowledge, and that knowledge, and that scholar uh, made him look at the world with a different eye, with a different vision. Okay, so first of all, that he at that time when he was in Saudi Arabia, he thought about the problems that were being faced by the Muslims. So first of all, he looked at that. What are these problems? And that problems were that Muslims were in a constant downfall. The Mughal Empire was about to get end, and the Muslims were getting away from Islam, which was the main cause. Like, they were vulnerable. The Muslims of subcontinent were vulnerable to attacks. Okay, so everybody was ready to attack the Muslim community. Okay, and even once the most superior community of the subcontinent was now the most inferior um, community in the subcontinent. Why? Because the Hindus were there, British and Sikhs were ruling uh, communities in the subcontinent. All of this was possible because of some mistakes done by the Mughal emperors. Okay, so first of all, the Mughal emperor's mistake was that they were always they always fought for the succession of their father. There was always succession dispute after the death of an emperor, and his sons would start fighting for the throne. Only Akbar, a single ruler who came on the throne without any succession dispute, and that was not because he was very calm or just his brothers wants him to be the emperor. It was only because he wasn't having any other brother. Okay, so now Shah Waliullah thought about them, and the first service he wrote was that, another problem was that Muslims were not knowing about Islam in general. Like, they were not knowing about taxation system, they were not knowing about interest, which is known as sood. They were not knowing about the moralities. They were not knowing about the way of daily life activities. So what? First of all, and this was all because many people wouldn't did not understand Quran. So first of all, his service was that he translated the Quran into language. It wasn't Urdu. I'm forgetting its name. But he translated the Quran into language so that people of the subcontinents could understand, and it was like that they started getting it. Secondly, he wrote like 51 books so that people could get knowledge from that, and these books were about interest, marriages, inheritance, and many things, like whatever topic comes to our mind about Islam. And this was all his service. Thank